Welcome on everyone. This is going to be the fourth OCBL Patton hosted by BridgeChamps in conjunction with the online contract Bridge League, taking a look back at what happened in the third edition of this tournament just a month and a half ago. We had 8 very strong teams participating. Beachy, BridgeChamp, and New Amateurs claiming the 3 podium spots in that event. Now, currently, we're going to have 12 teams competing, but we have a bunch of new faces. So we'll be on the lookout for some of these new teams, but we do still have, of course, the very strong BridgeChamp squad that is going to be competing in the event. It looks like the tournament is getting underway, so let's head on in to check out all of the action. We'll start out with one of our old champions, the BridgeChamp team. So here we are going on into the first table of action. And a couple of passes from North and East. I know that some players might prefer to open the North hand if you had a weak 2 and a major available, either through 2 diamonds multi or possibly through just a direct 2 spade preempt with such good spades. But South gets to open 2 no trump, and now it's going to be to North-South to determine, I mean, for one thing, are they going to play this hand in spades or no trump after North transfers? And secondly, how high are they going to get? So the 2 no opener, North does transfer to spades and is going to rebid 3 no trump, of course. And then South has 4 triple 3. And the way that the pattern is scored makes it a lot more popular for players to kind of bypass 8-card major suit fits and look for no trump games. So that may well be what South chooses to do here with 4 triple 3 shape. We'll just have to see what South's decision is, especially over this transfer bid. So 3 spades from South. We're going to see 3 no trump from North. And then it really is on South to judge whether or not they think the hand is going to take the same number of tricks in spades, or if they think that having the trump fit is going to be valuable. So 3 no trump, big decision here for South. If they do end up playing this in no trump, I mean, they of course have 9 top tricks, 5 spades, 3 diamonds, and the ace of hearts. And then it's going to be on Declarer to try and find a way to squeeze out an extra trick in the no trump contract. So South thinking hard about whether this hand is more suitable for no trump or for suit play. Part of the difficulty is that because North could have a little bit of an unbalanced hand, North could be 5-5 even, and just has a 5-card major and transfers to it and then bids 3 no trump because, of course, it's a border match form of scoring. It's difficult to judge sometimes whether or not the hand will play better in a suit, but South, it looks like, guesses well to play this hand in no trump on what's likely to be a club lead from West. That's going to set up the King of Clubs as Declarer's 10th trick. And it's kind of difficult to imagine in a spade contract how Declarer could take more than 10 tricks. So this might not be a lot of imps swung for 430 versus 420, but when it comes to the border match scoring, this is going to be a huge win for the BridgeChamp team. Queen of Clubs comes back. Looks like we have a little bit of table chat asking about the opponent's opening leads and carding. But yeah, the Queen of Clubs will come back. I don't think we need to watch the rest of this hand play out. Declarer is just going to run all of their tricks from here because they're in no trump. Can't afford to duck a heart, for example, or lead a heart towards the jack to try and pick up extra tricks in that suit. So this is just going to be 10 tricks, but I still expect this to be quite a strong result for the defending silver medalists, although important to note that our defending gold medalists are not here anymore. Let's jump into another table that's getting into the action. We see a similar start to the auction here at this table. 2 no transfer to hearts, followed by 3 no trump bid, and here South does elect to play in the suit contract. I don't really think there's any right or wrong answer on this one. It could be correct to play in the suit, it could be correct to play in no trump, and that's really all there is to it. Now, West actually electing to try an aggressive opening lead of the Queen of Hearts from Queen Doubleton. This is, I think, certainly helpful to Declare, because now a second round of hearts might come. Oh, I was going to say Declare might duck and get a second round of hearts, but now Declare may well lead up towards the Jack of Hearts if that Queen of Hearts is known to not have the king with it. A little bit surprised Declare didn't duck, just to see what the opponents were going to do. But elects to pull trumps in the spade contract. No shame in doing that. Let's head around the room and see if we can determine... Oh, this pair is already on the second board. I would like to get a little bit of info about the second board from the start of play. But let's just follow around to see where all of the pairs have ended up in on this very first hand. Another 4 spade contract. So once again, taking a look back at the bidding that we can see over here, 2 no trump, another transfer, and then 4 spades. So it's looking like a really strong decision from the BridgeChamp player to actually end up in 4 spades on that one. Although we do see another 3 no trump contract here. 3 no trump making 4 on this board. We can see from the bidding that it went 2 no trump, a transfer to spades. This time East making a very aggressive double. And after a couple more bids, they ended up in 3 no trump. The second board looks exciting as well. I actually really love the graphic now. We've got a green and red to distinguish the vulnerabilities. So heart by East, 13 count over there, and South comes in with 2 clubs. A beautiful 14 count, 7 card club suit, 3 aces. So North's in a bit of a bind over this 2 club bid. North having excellent shape, but of course 5 card heart suit that has been opened on his left. Not the greatest hand for offense, but of course if they have a spade fit, North kind of needs to find the spade fit, so elects to bid 2 spades. Has a nice king-jack doubleton of clubs to fall back on if they don't have a spade fit here. So East-West staying out of the auction, kind of understandable. West didn't really have anything to do over the 2 club bid, despite having a good diamond suit, so East-West are going to miss their diamond fit. Now, it's back to South, and I think this is just a 4 spade bid. Once again, your hand is quite strong given the overcall. You've now found a fit. You have a singleton in the opponent's suit, and you have this nice club suit that can probably be set up. If your partner happens to have like even a small singleton, you might be able to rough the club suit good, pull trumps, eventually using the 3rd round of trumps to get back to your hand to run the clubs. So great bid by South, and now the question is just going to be, can Declare end up making this? You have 1 diamond and 2 trumps to lose at the very least, but that might be it. After roughing the 2nd diamond, playing ace and a spade to pull some of the missing trumps, Declare should be able to just start running the club suit. Pitching all their heart losers and eventually get back to the South hand with either a heart ruff or the ace of hearts, or possibly even the 3rd round of spades. So I think that this is going to be a nice result for North-South. You know, North was a little bit light in high cards, but had kind of the right fitting hand, and South judged well to jump to 4 spades. So 2 rounds of spades we see here, and now East is in. Doesn't really have a good plan for a return. Elects to switch to clubs. I think a heart back might have been most players' choices to try and kill the dummy. Declare claims all but 1 trick, just losing the last trump. Well done to them. Let's head back out, jump over to another table where we join in at the start of this auction. Club opening bid from East here. I guess that's a little bit of an unusual system. Polish club. Now, most Polish club players would, of course, open their 5-card majors, so this might be a little bit of a different variety of a Polish club than people at home might be used to. But South overcalls 2 clubs. North makes the same 2-spade bid from the other room, and we'll just see if South can also bid 4 spades here. There doesn't really appear to be much to the play in a 4-spade contract. Okay, South bids 2-no. This is a bit of a difficult decision for North now. I'm not sure I understand the 2-no bid. But I suppose South is just hoping that their partner could have like King Doubleton of clubs over there, and they have 7 club tricks and both major suit aces for 9 tricks and no trump, which is true, except in this case, West might end up leading a diamond, and the defense is going to get their 6 diamond tricks before North-South manage. So I think actually a great bid by North here, 3 hearts. This should show a heart stopper and suggest a little bit of concern about the diamond suit for no trump purposes. And South bids 4 spades. Okay, so a bit of a roundabout way for North-South to end up in the major suit game, but they do get there. I like South's idea with the 2 no trump bid. This might not exactly be the right hand to try it with. Kind of playing partner for not just the club king, but also, you know, a diamond stopper as well on an auction like this. And all partner has showed is a spade suit, for example. But they do make it to 4 spades, and I think after 2 rounds of diamonds, which is pretty likely, we're going to see a very similar result. Let's head back to our lobby for just a second. Looks like we even have 1 table that's already finished the round with 8 minutes left on the clock. Let's head into one of our other matches that we haven't seen yet. We're just getting into the 3rd board, starting the auction here. Pass by South. West has a 12 count. We'll be opening the bidding. So I guess if West ends up opening a club, as might be popular from some of these participants, depending on their system, North might consider, and so West does open a club, showing 2 or more clubs. North might consider a 4-card diamond overcall with 1 diamond. Passed hand partner makes it a little bit safer. You're not going to get jumped to a very high level in the diamond suit, even though you're favorable. As well as the vulnerability helps a little bit in that if you walk into a giant diamond stack behind you, the opponents might just decide to bid 3 no trump instead of going after a penalty at the 1 level at these colors. So a club, pass, a diamond, showing 4 or more hearts. This transfer Walsh style is what they call it, and is relatively popular now worldwide as the system of choice. So West will bid 2 hearts, which confirms a heart fit. It's basically like the auction has gone a minor 1 heart, 2 hearts. So it's just a minimum raise of the heart suit. West could have bid 1 heart to show less than 4 hearts. And probably just a weak no trump is what's often played. East, liking their hand, 10 high card points, and now a known 10 card trump fit. Happy to bid game. King of Diamonds lead from North. Makes a lot of sense. So Declare has a diamond and 2 clubs and a spade to lose. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Declare has 2 clubs and a spade to lose. The ace of diamonds will gobble up that singleton. And even if the trumps happen to split 3-0, Declare can still rough the 4th round of spades in their hand. Now, as it was after this King of Diamonds opening lead, Declare actually had the opportunity to take a roughing finesse against the Queen Jack of Diamonds to ditch a club loser. They could have won the diamond ace, led the 10 of diamonds out of hand, where North probably would cover. You could rough, return to hand with the heart queen, play the 9 of diamonds for another roughing finesse. North would cover again. Now you return to hand with the heart ace to pull all the rest of the trumps, and then the 8 of diamonds could be used to take care of a club loser. So it may be the case that Declare missed an opportunity here to score an extra trick, which can be vital in these fights for the board match result on a board. So as it is, Declare elects to just pull trumps, knock out the spade ace, and take their 10 tricks. But I think we will see some players ending up with 450 on this hand. There's not much of a risk. Even if you lead the 10 of diamonds and North doesn't cover and you discard a club, it's a loser on loser play. So what if South wins the Jack of diamonds? Then you've exchanged a diamond loser for a club loser. Okay, let's head back to all of our tables where about half of them have finished currently. We'll tune in to the auction on this board, and there is 650. And I think I do want to highlight this in the results. Let's take a look at this hand, 4 hearts. Oh, they actually led the club ace, which is surprising. But I did want to kind of show off this King of Diamonds play, where we can see the analysis here that the King of Diamonds technically gives up a trick, although we can't really blame North for leading from their King, Queen, Jack sequence. But after the King of Diamonds went around to the ace and Declare pulled a trump with the ace of hearts, they had one more opportunity now that they were still in their hand to lead the 10-9-8 of diamonds for this double roughing finesse. And it's basically a single finesse because we know after the King of Diamonds lead, North has the King, Queen of Diamonds. So you're basically finessing North for the Jack of Diamonds when you do this, and you would be able to get rid of a club loser. Kind of nice, though, that they were able to right-side the contract as everyone else got the ace of clubs opening lead, although some of them still ended up letting 11 tricks through. We can also see on this hand that there's a timing feature. We can see on the website that they have the ability to keep track of all the time that was used. Some of these yellow markers essentially mean that it took 5 or more seconds, and the red markers mean it took more than 15 seconds, I think, to make a decision to kind of distinguish what time has been spent on a hand. Kind of a neat feature of the site. But let's head back to the tournament lobby, see which tables are still in play here. We have, I think, one final match that we haven't been following all that much, but we've gotten, I think, most of the players on camera at this point. 4-heart contract by East. Looking at the bidding, a diamond, a heart, 2 hearts, 4 hearts. Probably rather typical for this competition. And South gets off to a high club lead. Elects to switch to spades, which hasn't really ended up costing yet. But a spade to the ace that 8 of spades from South, and North does very well to immediately cash partner's other club trick. If North didn't do that, then all of the spades could have been used to ditch both small clubs from the West hand, and Declare could have ended up with an over trick. So that might have been what we saw at many of the other tables after the Ace of Clubs lead. So good coordination by North-South there to collect all of their tricks on defense, and now Declare can just claim being able to pull trumps. We're getting close to the round time for the first round. 7 rounds in total. There's going to be 21 boards played throughout the day. And we'll take a look at the results, or the current standings, after all of the tables have finished play. So 3 tables still in action here. We'll jump in to this table for a second. Looks like Declare is in the midst of a claim, having pulled trumps in 4 hearts. Lots of pairs getting to 4 hearts from the east side. A little bit random that South has the ace king of clubs, so they know what to lead, whereas North's lead happens to blow a trick because West has all of the 10, 9, 8 of diamonds. But it still looks like this is a good start currently for the BridgeChamp team. 2 tables still in play. And let's quickly pull up the tournament results before the next round starts off. So we have Gioffi, Max BridgeChamp, and BridgeChamp and. So 2 of the BridgeChamp teams doing quite well as Gioffi. That is going to change throughout the day, but we're into round 2. Let's head into this matchup between Gioffi and Max BridgeChamp, 2 of our current leaders. West opens 3 clubs in first seed. 9 count over there, 7 card club suit. Pass by North, pass by East. Oh, this is a champ bot auction. I didn't even realize that some players may not have turned up for their teams, so the robots are the ones bidding. I was thinking that East made a very conservative pass of 3 clubs, and they did. South, though, I mean, afterwards makes a very conservative, or very aggressive, 4 spade bid. I know they have 7 trumps, but that king doubleton of clubs does not look like a good holding. Of course, the robots are doing their best to let this contract through, but Declare is still going to have trouble even if they end up pitching another diamond on the Jack of Hearts. Yeah, I mean, it looks like East-West are going to take 2 more tricks from here. Maybe 3 more tricks. It depends how Declare ends up playing the hand out. And the difference between down 1 and down 2 could be important, because this does look like a possible part score deal. I mean, if some players are going to be opening 3 clubs and possibly passing with the East hand, thinking that 5 clubs is quite far away on those cards, then I could definitely see the difference between minus 100 and minus 200 being the difference. But for now, Declare still needs to decide how to handle the rest of the play. They're in dummy. And West happens to have a natural spade trick, although that's not all that obvious to Declare given the preempt. So a club goes to the king and ace, preventing East from getting in. Now a spade comes. And so this is going to give Declare the extra entry to effectively take a spade finesse. So spade goes around to the king and ace. Now we can rough our club and use the Jack of Hearts to pitch a diamond. West will rough in with their natural spade trick, but then Declare's hand will be high once West returns so that South can pull the last trump. So not the strongest defense by East-West, but they do end up getting a plus score on the board, beating the contract a trick. Let's tune into some of the other tables, though, as I guess we can head back over here to the BridgeChamp matchup, the other BridgeChamp team against Adora. this auction, 3 clubs pass, and East bid 5 clubs, which I think has a lot of merit. Some pairs might try 3 no trump, figuring that no trump is going to score better, especially at the board a match form of scoring. Spade opening lead from North from the Doubleton. And South switches to a club, and Declare gets fooled immediately. Declare elects not to take the club finesse, worried that if they did, they would have ended up losing out on some spade roughs. So well done by South to put some pressure on Declare there. That immediate trump switch meant Declare can't rough their spades if they had ducked and North happened to have the club king. Obviously, Declare is going to still make their contract. They can pitch a heart here on the king of diamonds, cash the heart ace, and effectively just cross rough the... that had to be a misclick, right? Oh no. Yeah, South now is cashing the spade queen. Oopsies. I think that was just a misclick, but unfortunately these sorts of mistakes can't really be taken back in this online form of event. So I didn't see anything from Declare's webcam, though. This is one of the nice features on BridgeChamp that we see. We get to actually see the players while they're playing, which is kind of neat, at least for those who do turn on their camera during the tournament. So big oops from West. I mean, had a real opportunity to make their game contract, of course. I mean, with the king of clubs on side, they could have done even a little bit better. But we'll leave them for a second. Let's head around to some of the other tables where we see a lot of different contracts on this first board. 3 clubs pass 3 hearts. 3 hearts alerted as non-forcing. And so South with the 7-card spade suit elected to come in with 3 spades. East-West found their 6-2 heart fit. Of course, there was a bad trump split looming. So North-South getting the better of this 4-heart contract as things lie. Yeah, Declare gets to claim the rest from this position, having eventually pulled all the trumps, but we can see that King Jack 4th of hearts, Declare was in huge trouble from the start of play. Let's head back around. We will jump into the matchup between Just Jump and Harris. Pass, pass, a no trump from South. 14 count. I know a lot of people have ambitions for opening a no trump in 3rd seat, but unfavorable is generally not the place that you want to be too aggressive. But 4-3-3, I mean, maybe their range just is 14 to 16. We don't have that information in front of us. Many of the players don't submit system cards. I'm just going to take a look. Yeah, neither North, South, or East, West have their system cards available to us. Otherwise, we could take a look at it. So 2 diamonds showing a single suited major from West. North has a nice hand. The question is just going to be, how much does North want to commit to a possible game? I think if it had gone to no trump pass, North probably would have committed to a game contract showing the singleton spade. So double by North looks like it's just value showing, would be my guess. I don't think it shows diamonds. You don't really care that much about competing for a diamond part score, and you also have Lebensal available to you that could allow you to compete to a diamond contract. So using this double to show specifically a diamond suit isn't all that useful, whereas using it to show like an invitational or better hand is helpful. Conveying to your partner that you just have some values. East, seeing the vulnerability and seeing the opponents might be on their way to a possible game, bids 3 hearts preemptive with only 3 high card points. So South doubles, of course, having hearts, and West is going to correct to spades. And then the question's going to be, what does North do over this? I mean, a takeout double would be effective, but is that really what double shows in this auction? I think double by North would, once again, kind of just suggest a smattering of values. That's the bid that North would make with honor third of spades in this spot. So it's a tough choice for North, but I think with so few aces, maybe the prudent decision is to just double 3 spades. I know that at imps, we wouldn't really think about doubling the opponents at 3 spades in this spot, but at board a match, we really do need to convert plus 50 into plus 100 or plus 100 into plus 300. And this looks like one of these contracts where game is going to be really difficult to make, if at all. So just trying to take what we expect to be a relatively small but confident plus position, defending 3 of a major doubled, feels like a good choice. It is a difficult bid to convince yourself to make, though. So I understand North's reluctance, but this looks like a fun auction, at least for spectators. Maybe not if you're a player at the table. Yeah, so North taking quite a long think at this point. Bids 4 hearts. Wow. And East instantaneously 4 spades. I think that's a bit of a mistake from East. I mean, with 4 trumps, you don't know what your partner has. Your partner could have a nice hand over there. The 2 diamond bid hasn't really denied a big hand. But yeah, very fast decision by East. And this could end up costing them, because now North-South are going to have an easy time doubling 4 spades, and it looks like there's an awful lot of losers in this contract. Fortunately for Declare, the clubs are playable for 1 loser. But it's not going to be a pleasant contract to play. So North on lead. I think you should just lead a trump against this contract. I know that King of Diamonds is screaming to be led, but this is one of these spots where there's a lot of distribution floating around the table, and your side has the vast majority of the high card points. You just really want to cut down on any defensive roughs possible. So that's one reason why I think a trump is relatively attractive as an opening lead. Yeah, 2 rounds of diamonds. I think this is just a little bit misguided by North, that they're not working on pulling dummies trumps. That Doubleton club, I think, is a clear indication that we just want to be pulling trumps here. Now, West also elects not to go after roughs, which is a little bit strange. So I think this is going to give South, this is going to give South, once again, the ability to now pull all of the trumps. Win the spade ace, play back a spade. And I mean, one thing that'll do is it's going to deny a dummy entry entirely in the trump suit. So Declare is going to be trapped in hand to lead clubs out of their own hand. They might even end up getting forced too many times. That can't be the right play. Uh-oh. Oh no. We have well, this is not going the way that East-West wanted. So I think we'll leave this table for now, and let's head around to some of the other rooms. I'm curious how the 4-heart contract might have ended up playing in the 4-3 fit. We'll see if any of the tables are Oh, this looks like an exciting hand. I'm sorry. I have to change gears because look at all the shape around the table. East passes. South has 6-4 in the pointed suits. 8 high card points. They'll pass, though, not wanting to preempt in diamonds with a side major. West in third seed opens a heart. So North will pass. East will bid a spade. I don't think South is going to be coming in this auction. I mean, the favorable vulnerability does make a lot of players want to contest some of these for in some way and possibly like preempt. I mean, some players might be drawn to a 3-diamond preempt here as South at the favorable colors, but it's a little bit of a off-shape decision. South comes in with 2 diamonds. I'm not sure about that decision, given that South is so light in terms of diamond honors and kind of wants almost any other lead. You know, you don't really want partner leading on this exact hand, King Doubleton of diamonds, because that's going to drop a trick at trick 1. So we'll see how the auction proceeds. 3 hearts from West. Nice 7-card suit. Of course, only 13 high card points, but definitely worth a 3-heart bid. Yeah, and East has a bit of a problem. I can understand a 4-heart call from East. Of course, 8 high card points, but that Queen of Diamonds doesn't really look like good value on an auction like this. So I think maybe the more prudent decision from East would have been to pass 3 hearts. Oh yeah, and this is getting ugly now. North with 2 natural trump tricks elects to double this contract, especially opposite a partner who comes in with 2 diamonds, which often is going to show a pretty good hand even at this vulnerability. You know, North is thrilled to know what to lead now because North was probably kind of questioning whether a club was correct or whether to lead a spade or something. But yeah, now North leads the King of Diamonds, which, as we've already mentioned, does kind of drop a trick, although Declare could have, in theory, gone Ace of Diamonds and a diamond up to the Queen to set up a diamond for a club discard for later in the play. But yeah, now as it is, Ace of Hearts cashes. Declare knows about the bad heart split given this double. And they're still going to lose 2 hearts, a spade, and probably a club from here. A spade lead up to the King. Probably North is just going to exit a diamond. This is the spot where North really needs to be careful, because if they do switch to clubs at this point, that's going to blow open the club suit. So good decision from from North to not break clubs. Now a heart comes back. Declare is going to do their best to... Oh no! North returned a club. Well, this was looking like a good result for North-South for a while. They could have ended up plus 200 on this hand if they had beaten 4 hearts. But the combination of that 2-diamond overcall with the diamond lead, as well as North's fear of this club suited dummy, or the spade suited dummy specifically, to set up extra discards. Yeah, now Declare is going to be able to cash a couple of hearts. And there really isn't a squeeze, so they're just going to have to take a club finesse at the end of play. Yeah, here comes the 10 of clubs. Not really sure why North covered that card, but it doesn't really cost. The 9 of clubs is a winner, and Declare makes 4 hearts doubled. So this will be a monstrous result for East-West in this room. Let's head back out and see if some of the other tables are playing this hand. Yeah, actually, at this table, it went pass, and West with the 13 count and 7-card heart suit elected to open 4 hearts. So 4 hearts got doubled. And it looks like Declare is going to make this. The clubs are actually set up. Declare is going to lose no diamond tricks on this hand. We will have to actually step back through the play here, because this to me looks, yeah, so North actually, I think probably a good decision from North, counting out that the club finesse can ditch a diamond loser. So if partner doesn't have the diamond ace, they aren't beating this. Switches to the diamond king, but four hearts doubled makes. That's the second time four hearts doubled has made. Let's take a look at the results from that last board, though. We'll also zoom in on the tournament results. We have both of the BridgeChamp teams up here in first and second again, with a Vaz in third currently. But we can take a look at some of the mid-round scores. Ooh, boy, 12-0 is the pickup for BridgeChamp against Adora. Also, Gioffi, who was in the lead after the first round, running into the other BridgeChamp squad. They're up 8-0 over there. And Vaz getting a big win as well, 10-0. Currently, there's still a couple of boards in play. Let's jump in one of the tables that is still playing. They have about a minute left on this last board. So here, a heart, a spade, no overcall by South. I think a good decision. 3 hearts by West, 3 no trump by East. Completely understand the decision making by East and West in this room. Diamond opening lead from South. The king holds trick 1, and North is thinking. I mean, little does Declare know that the spades are splitting so badly, or sorry, the hearts are splitting so badly that there's just no hope. And I think that's actually the reason why North didn't make an aggressive switch to a spade looking at the singleton and dummy, and just kind of passively continues a diamond around to the ace, because North is looking at all of these hearts. North realizes that they've got the clubs kind of locked up with Jack fourth, so Declare is not running tricks in that suit. Partners led the Jack of diamonds, so Declare doesn't have diamond tricks. If Declare's objective is going to be to set up the hearts, North is going to have plenty of time to switch to spades. They'll get in twice with the king of hearts and jack of hearts and be able to push spades through. So the 2 of spades comes. Declare ducks this around to South's jack. And South is probably going to be able to set up diamonds, although this might be a little bit harder to do from South's perspective. South doesn't know about the jack of hearts in North's hand. Now, one thing that South does know is that partner elected not to switch to spades and played back a diamond. So South might be able to use this this kind of inference that if North was concerned about running hearts, North might have switched to spades instead of playing a diamond back. So is South going to come to that realization and set up all of their diamond tricks, or is South just going to cash out? Ace, king of spades. Partner return the deuce, which is going to be an attitude signal. So South can be relatively confident that partner can tolerate a spade coming back. Tough choice, but it's the difference between plus 200 maybe and plus 400 or plus 500 even. So ace of spades cashes, and I think South is just going to continue a spade now. South has no entries back to the... Oh, wow. That's a bit surprising to me. South exits a club to dummy. So ace of hearts and a heart to North. East's hand getting a little bit squeezed on this trick. East pitches a club. And so now, assuming North has been counting, can cash the jack and 7 of clubs, and then can cash the king of spades. So this is still going to be quite a nice pickup for North-South, given that East-West are vulnerable. King of spades cashes, now the 7 of clubs. And Declare guesses well to keep their spade queen for down 4, but plus 400. Let's take a look currently at the updated standings. So one of the BridgeChamp teams, BridgeChamp and in the lead, Ives and Vaz, tied for second with Max BridgeChamp close behind in third place. We're into the third round. I know I wanted to take a look at the results on one of those boards, but we have way too much action. Let's check in on a Vaz versus Max BridgeChamp. So we'll note today that we actually have the, let's head over to this room. We have the Swiss form of scoring, which means that teams towards the top of the standings are going to end up playing each other unless they've already played, which is a little bit different from what we've done in the past for some of these tournaments. I think we've had either round robins or essentially some sort of like howl type movement for all of the teams. But this is nice because then we get to see all of the top teams competing against each other during every round. So all of those matches are going to matter. And the teams that are doing not as well will be competing up against teams that are probably also among their skill level if we have a little bit of separation in the ability among the teams. South opens a club, 18 count. A diamond overcall from West, nice hand, 5-5 in the minors. East bids a heart. South bids on with a no trump, which will show 18 to 19 balanced in this situation. And it looks like that might end up being... Oh no, East has a diamond fit. So East will definitely balance 2 diamonds, I'm sure. Although I guess East could double. Yeah, East could definitely double this. Okay, they do decide to go the more natural route of 2 diamonds to show their diamond fit, but oftentimes if the high card values are split between the 2 hands, where here East-West probably rate to have about 20 high card points, same as North-South on an auction like this, it's really hard for the declarer and 1 no trump to play the hand if they have all of their side's assets. For example, here where South has 18 and North only has 2, there's not going to be a lot of entries to the North hand, and East-West will probably be able to navigate the defense a little bit easier. As it was on either a heart or diamond lead from West, it looks like Declarer was going to have 6 tricks, but the defense was going to be able to eventually come to 7. So maybe a missed opportunity for East-West. Plus 200 is kind of that magic number at match points or board a match where you expect to be getting a good board if you achieve it. And they definitely could have thought about going after a diamond. Or a no trump, I'm sorry, instead of bidding 2 diamonds. So let's see. North elected to lead their Doubleton club. Kind of understandable. South had opened a club, so I get the desire to lead partners suit in some of these auctions. Obviously, that helps Declarer out a little bit, giving them the immediate club finesse at trick 1. Declarer is still going to have to start cross-ruffing, though, at this point. Ace of clubs, club ruff. Probably the King of Hearts for ruffing finesse. And it looks like North-South, if they're careful, might be able to score 1 extra trick in this spot. Because Declarer has to cross-ruff. North can start pitching the suit that Declarer's planning to ruff in their own hand, in this case, hearts. So if it goes Ace of Clubs Club, North can pitch a heart, and then when Declarer roughs a heart back to hand and plays another club, North can pitch another heart. And this will prevent Declarer from scoring all of their roughs with small trumps. But Declarer has chosen a different route, in fact. 3 rounds of diamonds to dummy. They're going to take the marked club finesse, and when clubs don't split, that's okay. This is still going to end up with them losing just 1 club trick in the end of play. Declare, of course, would have been quite pleased if the clubs had split 3-3. Then they could just take the club finesse and they would have the rest from here. So the 8 of clubs to the queen. And Declare will be able to claim 9 tricks ultimately. Let's head to another table and pick up some of the action. Maybe Ives versus BridgeChamp, 2 of our top teams once again. On to board 8, we haven't seen this board yet, but getting into the auction, 3 clubs by West. North does not come in with 3 diamonds on the 8 high card points with a spade void. 3 no trump from East, just hoping against hope that the opponents aren't running spades against them. 4 spades by South, favorable, or no one vulnerable, double by West. West, of course, with a ton of defense for their 3 club opener. Queen third of spades, as well as the ace king of clubs and a singleton. They lead the club ace at trick 1. So this will cash. I'm sure that South isn't all that pleased about the contract as of yet. But diamond to the ace for a diamond ruff will probably come. Okay, East cashes a heart. Yeah, West is really hoping to get multiple diamond ruffs. Of course, little does West know that his partner does not have a second, well, entry for one thing, and then secondly, doesn't have an extra diamond. So this will get ruffed. Declare is going to cash the ace king of spades and be relatively pleased when the queen drops. So this is only going to be down 1. Now it turns out that East did have a lot of heart tricks. So East-West were going to make 3 no trump, and this is going to result in a nice save for North-South. I think they might have been a little bit more pleased if they had ended up in a diamond contract, but that's hard to do. So 4 spades doubled down 1, not going to be the worst result for North-South on this deal. Let's head back out to the lobby and check out some of the other matchups that we have on this board, though. Looks like we are coming into a 2-spade contract, North-South. Taking a look at the auction here, this was the first board of the set that we had seen earlier, where East-West ended up getting to 2 diamonds after having the opportunity to double a no trump. South opened a club, a diamond, a heart. This time South bid 1 spade. And this allowed North-South to find their spade fit. So a bid that works out much better at this table, because after the 1 no trump call in the other room, North-South really didn't have a way to get to spades anymore. So East-West ended up getting to 2 diamonds, and then South makes a 3rd bid of double, just trying to express how strong their hand was with 18 high card points. So this allowed North to compete to 2 spades. And how's that contract actually looking? It seems like Declare is just going to be a trick short. That 7 of spades is a little bit too big of a card for North-South to handle. Declare can rough a club low, but it'll get over roughed, and then they'll have a high cross rough for the remainder of the tricks. But yeah, they can rough this with the jack of spades, rough a club with the 5 of spades, hoping that West has the 7. I haven't really been following the entire play. So they'll end up down 1, but minus 100 is still better than minus 110, which I think we saw from the 2 diamond contract in the other room that we followed. And of course, they didn't get doubled in whatever they ended up in, which could have been minus 200. So feels like a pretty nice result for North-South here, finding their spade fit. Of course, once again, it just goes to show that one very strong hand opposite one very weak hand often just don't take enough tricks. All right, the 9 of clubs comes, and Declare really just can't avoid losing one more trick from here. If they ruff with the 8 of spades and pull trumps, then they have a losing club in hand. So really just nothing that Declare can do. Let's head back out to the lobby. We'll continue walking around the tables to see what's going on. 5 diamonds down 1 was bid at this table. Let's look at board 9 of today's action between Harris UK and Sand Eaters. North passes the 9 count. East has 13. We'll get to open a club or a diamond in their system. East opens a diamond. Pass by South. This is not really the 5-card major suit that you want to be overcalling, even though you're favorable. So diamond to heart, kind of expected from East. No bid from North. We should see a spade from East. And now the question is, how do East-West game force? Many pairs would use 4th suit forcing, 2 clubs. A lot of others would, well, that's one way to do it. I was going to say a lot of others might use XYZ. And so then 1X, 1Y, 1Z is 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade here would show, would be the start to the sequence, and 2 diamonds would be an artificial game force. West elects to just bid 3 no trump. Their hand does feel very no trumpy. I think many players would treat this as a specific range of high card points, which is really helpful. So I don't know if that's what East-West are doing here. West has 14. The point being that East's hand is not limited by the 1 spade bid. I mean, it's less than 19 or so high card points. It's less than a jump shift, but East could still have a pretty good 18 count, and East could be very shapely. So 6 clubs, for example, would be, or 6 diamonds could be a possible ending spot on the East-West cards. Ten of clubs opening lead went around to the king in Declare's hand, who elected to try spade finesse. That got covered by North. Maybe even a little bit unusual for the jack of spades to get covered there. I guess North is hoping their partner has the spade 9, holding the king 10 third themselves. Things are working out for Declare. I mean, they've kind of played this hand completely wide open. They maybe had kind of squandered an entry to the West hand using that king of clubs immediately at trick 1. But with that ace of diamonds sitting in South, Declare actually has the ability to cross to the diamond queen at this point and cash the queen 10 of hearts, scoring an extra 2 heart tricks. So another club comes. Declare can now take the club finesse. A little bit of an unusual play from Declare here, sitting in the West seat, to not take the club hook. Yeah, and North is kind of thinking now, I mean, obviously a club back is passive, doesn't give anything up, but it does, of course, allow Declare the freedom to take the club finesse, which is now marked with South showing out. If North continues spades, that'll give Declare the ability to take a spade finesse and score 3 more spade tricks, which is a lot. And a heart back probably just helps Declare out, because Declare went about setting up hearts on their own earlier. So probably a good decision by North to just safely exit in clubs. Declare can now cross to the diamond queen, or lead another diamond towards the queen to gain that entry. Oh, interesting. So the Jack of Diamonds comes, and I guess South was a little bit nervous about ducking this trick, since then Declare could just continue another diamond and South would be end played. So, makes sense. Now diamond to cut communications, but Declare has the rest. Declare has 2 hearts to pitch the spades, and dummy is good. 3 no trump, making 10 tricks. That feels like a really strong result for East-West, where they got all of their tricks, but we'll have to see with the other tables. Let's head over to one of our main matchups between BridgeChamp and Ives. 3 no trump in the East this time, so we're getting to see a couple of tricks play out. The opening lead was a spade to the Jack and King, 6 of spades from second best from a bad suit. Jack of Hearts held a diamond to the King. Now the King of Hearts. North ended up taking the ace, and North switched to a club. Declare took the club finesse, plays another diamond. And South now in the tank. I will take a moment to note that East ended up winning a silver medal at the recent transnational teams. And West ended up winning a gold medal, I think, in the transnational teams. So lots of medalists here at this table. I know that a bunch of the other players in this event also were in Herning, Denmark over the past couple of weeks, playing in the World Championships for their various countries. South in the tank, I mean, basically can count all of Declare's values at this point. Knows about partner's club queen based on the club switch, and Declare's kind of like long thought before sticking up the Jack. So he's thinking, what happens if I take the ace here? What happens if I duck? It looks like he just kind of shrugged. We can see on camera that he's just not really sure what the right solution is. So what is the point here? Is it that if he... Yeah, I was thinking, like, it probably can't be right to take the ace. That would absolutely blow a diamond trick. And it's hard to see how you get that trick back. I suppose the problem is that now... Oh, North has ditched a club. So the clubs actually run. That's surprising. Yeah, I'm not sure about that decision from North. Obviously, you need to protect that 10 of spades, I think, but the hearts could have gone. North knows for a fact that the heart suit is not really providing a source of tricks for his side. Well, there's not really much to be done from this point. Declare is just going to cash out, cashes a couple of hearts, eventually is going to cash the spade queen and all 3 clubs, but there's no real squeeze that's going to crop up here. As it turns out, North actually did get squeezed on that second round of diamonds, but certainly a heart discard would have made Declare's life a lot more challenging. In this position. But yeah, now just club to the ace, queen of spades will cash, club back to the king, and South just scores the diamond ace eventually. It does look like Ives is getting the better of BridgeChamp in this set. This is the last board. So I don't know if that's going to continue on this hand or not. It did seem like quite a few pairs ended up making over tricks in this no trump contract. Oh, wait, hello? Well, this was a funny way to actually score a couple of the last two tricks. Maybe we've lost track of the clubs the way the play has gone. But yeah, South got N played into leading. I don't know if all of that actually happened. I mean, I would like to say that there was a VU-graph error, but I guess we're seeing the players play the cards dealt to them. Let's head back to the results page for just a second before round 4 gets underway. So both of the BridgeChamp teams and Ives still remain towards the top of the standings. We can actually take a look that Max BridgeChamp did have a huge win over Avaz in this last round, and Ives and BridgeChamp actually kind of split their position. So we'll probably see Ives playing up against the other BridgeChamp team, or both of them playing up against each other as it appears, and Ives is playing up against one of the other top teams in the event. Let's check in on them, actually, to start out the day. So we'll head over here to Team Ives, up against Just Jump. Couple passes. North doubles. Hand is a little bit too good for a 1 spade overcall, so starts with double, planning to bid spades later. I mean, whatever East system is, 3 hearts looks like the right bid on this hand. I think that often is going to be the case when you have 4-card trump support for your partner's one of a major. We can see that West is very aggressive with their 3rd seed opener. So maybe that's going through the back of East's mind, that they don't want to commit to the 3 level when West's hand can be quite poor, but still taking away a lot of bidding space is often the thing to do on these hands. East elects bid 2 diamonds. People play these transfers over one of a major double, so 2 diamonds showing a good raise to 2 hearts. Doesn't show the 4th trump, but they really want to be conservative opposite a partner who's so aggressive in 3rd seat, and I completely understand that sentiment. So pass by South. I mean, South has a hand that really wants to say, I have some values, but just doesn't have enough in any suit to bid that suit. I mean, 3 clubs would be very ambitious on only Jack 10 4th of clubs. 2 hearts by West, showing a complete minimum. 2 spades by North, finally, getting their hand off their chest. And now 3 hearts by East. A little bit surprising, but for some players, this is the only way to show a mixed raise on the East-West cards, which is basically what East has. It's a little bit unfortunate for them systemically, because now North has already been able to show their hand. Oh, but North feels... Yeah, I feel like something a little bit has gone astray between North-South here. 2 spades should show a power double with spades, and South with 8 high card points definitely needs to find a raise to 3 spades over 3 hearts. If not just bidding 4 spades directly, with an ace and a king that are both likely to be good cards, as well as 3-card spade support. I mean, South's hand is definitely worth at least a 3-spade bid and probably just a game force. So not really sure what the disconnect is here. But yeah, South does eventually bid 4 spades, so very fortunate for South that North elected to come back in a 3rd time in an auction like this. For most players, once you double and bid a new suit, unless you have a very exceptional hand, which North really doesn't, I mean, especially opposite a partner who take away the ace of hearts and king of diamonds, could easily be the case. You're not doing very well in 4 spades if that's South's hand. might not even do very well in three spades, if that's the case. But heart up with the ace. And now Declare probably needs to take the club finesse immediately. This could be their last entry to dummy, so may as well do this now. Oh, wow. Just plays a spade. So this is very dangerous. If the diamond ace was offside, as we might expect from the opening bid, then we may never get back to the south hand to try this club finesse. Of course, as it is, the ace of diamonds is on side, so... Oh, but they don't take the diamond finesse. Declare is, of course, safe for their contract. But yeah, a little bit strange that Declare elected to not try either the club finesse or the diamond finesse for their contract. So a bit of an unusual line of play taken by North. They do end up making 4 spades, though. They're going to feel pretty happy about making their vulnerable game, but certainly an overtrick was lost. And this could end up costing them. Let's head over to another matchup, though, between... we'll watch the two BridgeChamp teams duke it out. That sounds like a good plan. Oh boy. I love to jump in and see a redouble in an auction. Let's see how this all happened. A heart by South. Huge 7-5. It's a 2-loser hand if people are counting losers. Takeout double from West. Looks like more normal shape. Redouble from North. East bids 1 spade. South jumps to 3 clubs. And this is a bid that really should be constrained to a very shapely offensive hand, which is what South has here. Because this redouble from your partner often is going to suggest that they want to maybe double the opponents in whatever contract they end up in, even at the 1 level. So if South had a more balanced hand type, South probably should just be passing 1 spade. And that's why 3 clubs really should suggest a ton of shape and a ton of offense. 4 hearts by North. I'm not sure I understand the 4 heart bid from North. Maybe North was concerned that 3 hearts wouldn't be forcing, but I think it definitely should be. North has an excellent hand for slam exploration because they have 2 aces, as well as 3 card heart support, which is going to be huge. Opposite a hand that's very shapely, South is almost guaranteed to have at least 6 hearts on an auction like this. So yeah, now North is in a bit of a bind because 4 hearts, South elects to bid 5 hearts as just a generic slam try. I'm not sure why South didn't want to start by Q-bidding or even to try something like exclusion 5 diamonds, if that's possible systemically. But South bids 5 hearts and North has a real issue. I mean, if South's hand had a singleton diamond and a spade void, which might be a little bit more likely on this auction, then North-South would be called for a slam. And I mean, as it is, they're on a non-spade lead because they'll just be able to cross to the heart ace and pitch their spade loser on the diamond ace. So I think we'll see a lot of different scores on this hand. Either, 6 hearts making, 6 hearts going down, 6 hearts doubled probably, making and going down. I think all of these are possible, as well as some part scores, or not part scores, some game contracts, which it looks like might be what's happening here. Yeah, King of Diamonds opening lead. And Declare is just going to win this. Probably take a club finesse, even though he expects it to fail, and then claim 12 tricks. Doesn't really seem to be any harm in taking the club finesse, but I suppose Declare could be nervous that clubs might be 5-1. So it seems like they are pulling a couple rounds of trumps before doing anything. Heart to the ace, club to the queen, and we'll see a claim in just a second. This is the second board of the round. Let's see if some of the other tables are in the midst of bidding this one. Oh yeah, here we go. 1 heart by South, take out double by West. North bids 3 clubs, which is alerted as either a limit raise in hearts with 3 trumps or a mixed raise in hearts with 4 trumps. Both of those bids often get grouped together because they're approximately the same playing strength. And so South now bids 4 diamonds, which is alerted as probably a splinter. At least it's intended that way. That's tough for North. Once again, North just has an excellent hand in support of slam. And after this 4 diamond bid, I think it's going to be a lot easier for for West specifically, to find a spade lead. Yeah, just a really tricky spot for North-South. I'm a little bit surprised by the 4 heart bid because North has such a good hand in support of slam. North's hand, remember in context here, has showed at maximum a limit raise, so North's hand is a maximum. If partner's making a slam try opposite our hand and we have a maximum with excellent suits for slam controls, then we should probably be going. Well, West has not been listening to the auction. Sometimes that happens. I don't know if the 4 diamond bid wasn't alerted or explained. It was explained as a splinter. There's no real benefit to leading a suit where the opponents have splintered because, I mean, sometimes you take the ace, but if you don't have the ace, then you're not going to get a trick. It doesn't help to set anything up. So ends up just giving Declare an immediate discard for their spade. And we're going to see the same 12 tricks we saw at the other table. Let's continue on, see if we can catch another one of these auctions on this distributional hand. A heart double, 2 diamonds by North, so this is going to be a good 3-card raise. We saw that at an earlier table. 4 diamonds splinter. Oh, a void showing splinter. Interesting. And now North did Q-bid 4 spades. Fascinating. So can South just bid key card? I wonder. Given that South has already showed a void in diamonds, there's no danger in asking for aces because partner won't count the ace of diamonds. Partner's just going to show their 1 key card here. Uh-oh. Looks like North-South are not on the same page. 4-no Trump was alerted as key card, it looks like, asking for aces, or key cards, 5 of them. And North alerted 5 diamonds as a Q-bid, which, again, it doesn't make a lot of sense to Q-bid when your partner showed a void in a suit. Similarly, it doesn't make a lot of sense to show the king if your partner showed a singleton in the suit. Yeah, I guess South knows that something's gone off when 5 diamonds is the response. Normally 1430 key card, this would show 3 key cards, and North can't have that because that would show the diamond ace, and that's not a key card that South cares about. So, is this going to be enough information for West to now find the killer ace of spades lead? I think a really attractive lead from West's hand is a low spade, in fact. North has Q-bid spades, and South has showed a void in diamonds. A diamond is certainly out. The ace of spades is going to resolve a spade guess in dummy. Sounds like dummy has the king of spades. So Maybe our best chance is to hope for a situation like this, but where Declare has Jack Doubleton of spades in hand and 6 hearts. Yeah, it is beyond my capability as a commentator to explain these King of Diamonds leads against the Splinter, especially the Void Splinter. Well, 6 hearts bid and made at one table, as predicted. Let's head back out and check in on one of the other rooms. Let's head back to our featured table. Oh, they've already finished board 12. 5 hearts making 5. I mean, plus 650 is often a good result if you're at the 5 level. Let's see if another 5 heart contract here as we conclude the play. Looks like Declare is also making 11 tricks. So we'll try and jump into one of the tables that is just starting the play on this hand. Oh my. Well, this is an auction. A spade past 4 spades, 5 hearts past 6 hearts. And we are a couple of tricks in. The ace of spades was cashed. The ace of clubs was cashed. That doesn't feel like a good start for North-South in their 6 heart contract. And now a diamond switch. So this switch even gives up a diamond guess. I mean, Declare was going to have a lot of trouble in this contract. It's starting to look like those 650s are really strong results. Okay, 6 hearts goes down 1. Declare can just pull trumps from here and their hand is high. So we're at about the halfway point of the event. Looking at the scoreboard, BridgeChamp coming through strong. I know that some of the top teams from past months have been sitting out, probably because a lot of their players are tired from the Bermuda Bowl in Denmark past few weeks. Avaz still up here in 3rd place. Ives, they have had a little bit of a slip here. I mean, they started off quite well, but then they end up falling to just jump, which has allowed them to be overtaken. Let's continue following some of the tables that are still in play. We have about 5 minutes left on the round clock. These are very fast players and very fast events. 4 spades doubled in the West. So North-South have cashed the first couple of heart tricks, it looks like. They still have a couple of diamonds to take. They have a natural spade trick. And a club is coming as well. So South pushes a club through, possibly taking partner off of a impending end play. But a club goes to the king. Maybe a little bit surprising from Declare that they allowed this club ruff to happen. But ultimately, it does come with a natural trump trick. South does exit a diamond. Diamond goes around to the ace. And diamond return. South gets to win the king. So that's going to be 4 spades doubled down 3, with Declare being able to pull the rest of the trumps. Plus 500. Not a terrible score from the imp perspective, but at board match, 650 would have been a whole lot better if North-South were able to get there and pick up the diamond queen. We saw a couple of tables do it. We'll head back out. Still a couple of tables in play. Ooh, 5 hearts doubled North-South. Oh, this is board 11. I'm just realizing this table needs to pick up the pace of play. I did not realize that they were so far behind. We got about 2 minutes left for them to play through the final board. Crazy 6 against Ukraine. 5 hearts doubled makes 12 tricks. So that's going to be 750. But still not quite as good as 6 hearts making if they were able to reach it. I wonder how they got doubled in that contract. I mean, it feels like a pretty good result for North-South, given that the opponents have majorly overstepped. We'll follow this table for the last board as they complete play. We finally get to see this hand play out in its entirety. I think a lot of players would be opening the West hand, ace queen, 5-card major, good spot cards. So 1 spade is pretty likely. Oh! Looks like they got a penalty of some sort, not being able to finish the last board. We'll take a quick look at our standings after that round concludes. Both BridgeChamp teams still in first and second, Avaz in third, and Ives following shortly behind in fourth, as well as Just Jump going all the way down the list of the table. Let's check out Ives against Max BridgeChamp. We'll head into this room. So North is the dealer, 13 count. They'll get to open a heart, and we have to find out how many spades East wants to bid. I think 4 spades is going to be a lot of players' choices over a heart. Expecting to get a heart lead at trick 1, then they're going to have 6 spades and 2 hearts immediately, which will already be a good save if the opponents happen to have a game. And if partner happens to produce a couple of other tricks, then, well, you're probably beating their game, but then you're also making 4 spades. Other options are to go a little bit slower. You don't have to be so scared about getting blown out of this auction. So East elects to just overcall spade, which I think has a lot going for it, especially at this form of scoring. That it's unlikely to go a heart, a spade, all pass when you have this much shape. And so you'll get another opportunity to, say, jump to 3 spades on your next opportunity. Because this isn't teams, you don't really need to be that worried about getting to game on every board, since you'll do just as well if you go plus 140 and the other table's minus 100, given the board match and team combined score. But yeah, here after 2 hearts, East is definitely just going to bid 4 spades with all of his shape. And then it's really going to be a battle of how many tricks Declare ends up taking, because on a heart lead, not only does that give Declare an extra entry to basically take a free heart finesse and score a heart ruff, but that'll allow Declare actually to kind of safely play a club to the ace and take a roughing finesse and clubs against the opening bidder to ditch a diamond loser. So Declare may well make 12 tricks on a heart opening lead. Whereas if South gets off to a diamond lead, for example, that would immediately set up a diamond trick, and then Declare is going to be in a much more precarious position about how to manage their entries, and they probably can't even take 11 tricks. I'm just going to quickly pull up the double dummy analysis tool here just to kind of show what's going on. So it says 12 tricks available on a heart lead. We would have seen different numbers if South had led a different suit, for example. So heart goes to the king and ace. Yeah, now East needs to be a little bit careful about entry management, because if we take the heart finesse now, take the heart ruff now, which does look somewhat appealing, we might turn up a little bit short on entries for setting up clubs. Yeah, North does very well taking the ace of spades and immediately putting pressure on Declare to win that diamond ace. So Declare can pull a second trump, and then we'll have to guess what to do in the club suit now that all the trumps have been pulled. The heart ruff is eventually going to serve as a late entry to the long clubs. And who do we want to play for the club king? Well, for one thing, North opened the bidding, so it's a lot more likely they have it. And secondly, if we take a club finesse now and it loses, then we suffer an extra diamond loser as well. So club to the ace, club covered and ruffed, and now declare can claim the rest of the trick. So very well judged to make all 12 tricks there by East. And well done in the auction as well to bid all the way up to 4 spades. Let's hop over to BridgeChamp versus a vase. We'll check in on this room. Also a much slower auction. A heart, a spade, 2 hearts. East bid 4 clubs, a splinter. So East was ambitious, looking for slam. Q bid, but a double by North, getting their diamond lead in. And with this slower auction, South able to get off to a diamond lead, makes Declare's life really tricky. And as it is, Declare actually loses an extra trick because of it. They set up the diamond, and then Declare was not prepared to cross in clubs and take a roughing finesse. Not that they would have a re-entry anyway if they did so. So that's only 11 tricks. And that's making it look even more and more like the results in the first match that we took a look at, plus 480 or plus 680 on this hand, are even more powerful. So Declare eventually does take the heart finesse, will get to rough their heart loser, 11 tricks, but that slower auction gave North-South the ability to convey what they wanted for a lead. And the diamond lead ended up netting Declare 1 fewer trick. We'll take a look at that board actually, just so that people can see for the analysis here. As it turns out, Declare actually has the ability to make 12 tricks on any lead, but it's a lot more difficult to figure out how you end up making 12 tricks on leads that are not hearts. The heart lead, as we saw, gave Declare just kind of all the time in the world to do everything they needed, whereas on this diamond lead, it was a lot more challenging to do so. Anyway, once Declare pulled trumps, it was all over from there. Let's head back to the action, onto the next board, and we'll stick with this table for a second. So East with 16 highs opens a no trump, strong. South will pass, despite having a 6-card suit. Can't really always overcall. And now to West. This is a tricky position for West, because imagine if the East had the exact same hand, but the King of Hearts was the ace. Now, the best contract would be 7 diamonds, East-West, because you can pull 3 rounds of trumps, assume they split 3-2, which they will most of the time, and then you can run the club suit to pitch all of the hearts from East's hand, and you'll make all 13 tricks. So it's easy to imagine that a diamond contract is going to be the best if you can find a 4-4 diamond fit. So West starts with 2 spades, showing a range ask or clubs. East bids 3 clubs to show maximum. Now West can bid 3 spades to show a singleton in that suit. So this would be hand shapes that are like 1-2-3-7, 1-3-3-6. This hand shape is possible as well. And I think that's probably what West will do, is to bid 3 spades. I mean, you don't love splintering on singleton aces, but generally singleton ace plays approximately the same opposite a lot of the holdings that your partner can have, where if your partner has like king, queen, third of spades, sure, I mean, now it's worth 3 tricks, but you would also prefer that they have 3 small spades and that the king, queen were useful cards in other suits. So 3 spades, there it is. Spade shortness. singleton or void, which East might not necessarily believe, but that's what their partner's showing. With a club suit. So I think the right bid for East here is 4 clubs. You always want to make sure that you agree on the trump suit when you're in slam territory. And so that's why 4 clubs, great bid from East to confirm trumps, give their partner plenty of room to start Q-bidding. 4 diamonds, 4 hearts are going to come. And then I imagine West is going to bid key card, whatever their key card is over 4 hearts, probably 4 no trump. Ask for aces, they're going to find out that they're short an ace, and they'll just end up in 6 clubs. Which is a perfectly fine spot. And because East doesn't have that ace of hearts, 6 clubs and 6 diamonds will essentially will be worth the same score. So 5 spades, showing 2 key cards in the trump queen, and West will just sign off in 6 clubs, counting that they're short a key card. You always have to be a little bit nervous on these hands that 6 no trump could be the place to play. Like East could have the king doubleton of spades, for example, instead of queen doubleton, and then you have multiple spade stoppers, and eventually you can knock out the ace of hearts, for example, to collect 12 tricks. But as things sit here, East's gonna have no trouble in 6 clubs, eventually just gonna pull trumps and knock out the heart ace. Let's leave them to it. We'll take a look in on some of the other tables. Head over here. A 1 no trump making 5 never feels like a particularly good result. Oh, they've already finished play, in fact. So that was one of the fastest tables in the entire event. Let's see if their teammates are playing at a bit more of a slower pace. No, looks like East, West, and North, South in this room also keeping to a relatively fast speed of play. I wonder if that's because they didn't have as intricate auctions to on some of those first 2 boards. Let's jump into this room. Pass 1 no trump, all pass. So West has a 16 count with a 6-card club suit. I think with 6 solid clubs, you would tend to want to upgrade this type of hand. So many players would choose to open a club and rebid 2 no trump with these values. Oftentimes, the solid running 6-card suit is worth approximately 2 high card points. So that's a good way of thinking about it. And here that would bump the 16 count up to an 18 count, which is a little bit too good for a no trump opener. So I think we're starting to see how some of the pairs ended up in 1 no trump making 5. We'll watch the hand play out a little bit. Looks like declare in 1 no is crossing in spades, surprisingly, opening up the entire spade suit. That's very shocking to me. And normally you would just run all of your clubs to make sure that the opponents have to discard immediately. And now that you've played on spades, the opponents actually can kind of discard from the other suits and just keep all of their spade winners. They do still come under a little bit of pressure. And so we see here that North is thinking, does pitch a spade. And now South has to make a decision, ends up pitching a diamond. So if Declare has worked this out, ducking a diamond to the stiff ace will net them an extra trick, and they do. Well judged by South. A heart comes through, but Declare can now win the ace of hearts, cash a diamond, and the defense gets the last 2 tricks. So well judged by Declare, but plus 180 is not the most tricks that we've seen on this board. We'll just take a quick look at the the results that are in so far. So there's 150, 180, and 210, and one table did manage to reach 3 no trump. Let's see how they did it. DeFranco opened a club as opposed to 1 no trump. Probably a good decision. And then over a heart, elected to rebid 3 clubs. And I think I like this choice a lot. Once partners bid a heart, you have 14 of your 16 high card points in your suit and partner's suit, so it's a lot less likely that you actually have stoppers everywhere. So I think this is good judgment by DeFranco, and then East had no trouble with stoppers in both spades and diamonds to bid 3-no on their hand. So that's the only table so far that has bid 3-no trump and has finished playing. Let's check in on some of the other tables. We'll head over here. Oh my. So this is board 14, where we saw that 1-no opener. 2 spades was in this room. I'm trying to get the alerts. Maybe the alerts weren't explained. But it looks like East-West had a quantitative auction. And they took the first 11 tricks, but North-South did set up their spade trick. 6 no trump down 1. So this is what I was talking about, that pressure to play in no trump, especially at this board of match form of scoring. At imps, these decisions would be a lot easier. You would just play in 6 of a minor and be happy to make your slam, even if you ended up losing 2 imps. Pass by South, 1 no trump by West. We've seen a lot of players open to no trump with that West hand, and it really does look a little bit too strong to me. Pass by North. I mean, I just can't imagine making a move with East hand. Sure, an ace and a king are good. You have a couple spot cards, but your 4-3-3, your 4-card major is very poor. This is just not a hand opposite most strong no trumps that you would really be interested in investigating. You're also non-vulnerable. So, I mean, for that reason alone, it's often not worth pushing for close game contracts, even at imps. Yeah, East bids 2 spades. I mean, it looks like this is going to get them to 3 no trump, which is, of course, the place they want to play on this hand, but it feels maybe a little bit misguided. The only reason it's going to work is because West's hand is way too good for a 1-no opener. West is going to show a maximum here. Looks like they might have some connection issues. They're currently offline, but hopefully they'll be back in just a minute, and we can see this auction concluding in 3 now. So that's going to be a good result for East-West. I have to imagine that this will be duplicated in the other room with West not opening a no trump, but we'll just stick around and find out. West is back with us. We should see 3 clubs. This 2 spades is going to be similar to what we saw at the other auction, range ask, or possibly a club suit. In this case, East is asking partner if they're minimum or maximum, and East is planning to bid 3 no trump opposite a maximum. Now, I mean, for example, move one of these clubs into, say, the spade suit, just as an example. West would also show this hand as a maximum, and this would be taking 1 fewer trick. Then the defense is just going to lead spades, and you're going to have 5 clubs, 1 spade, 1 heart, and 1 diamond after knocking out the diamond ace, and that'll be it for your side. There's the maximum. There's 3 no trump. And I guess North has to come up with an opening lead. I suppose a heart is the most natural lead from the North's hand. Generally, when the opponents go through these two spade sequences, they don't have a major suit. I mean, obviously here we can see that East was just really banking on no trump being the right spot with 4-3-3. So I'd expect a heart from North. It's also worth considering a diamond from that honor sequence, Jack 10-8. But North does get off to a heart lead. Tough trick one decision from South. I mean, these are the spots where, yeah, so he does put up the queen, hoping that his partner's hearts are a little bit better. But as it turns out, that queen of hearts actually does just kind of promote several extra heart tricks for Declare. So the Jack of Hearts comes back. North is again in a little bit of a pickle. I mean, that Ace of Clubs and then immediately switching back to the Jack of Hearts is such a strange play for North to see. I suppose it sounds like Ace King Jack fifth. You cash one high club, cross to the other hand, and then take a club finesse. But North elects to go up with the Heart King. Jack of Diamonds switch comes. I mean, Declare is just reaping all the rewards of the defense not really being able to see their hand. Certainly, if they knew that Declare started with 6 clubs, they might have defended differently. Yeah, here comes the Club King, and now North can start pitching hearts. Oh, looks like we don't get to see the end of play. But that is round 5 with 15 boards in, I think. So currently we still have both of the BridgeChamp squads doing quite well. And then Jump is sitting in 3rd place. Avaz and Ives and Ukraine and a bunch of other teams are chasing them. But that's where we currently sit. We're into round 6. Let's watch. I'm trying to follow mostly the leaders, but give a little bit of a view to all of the other tables. Let's check in on this room. So Just Jump against Max of BridgeChamp. 3 passes go around to South. Pretty rare, especially when you have a hand like this. And South, yeah, just elects to pass it out. I mean, it's 11 high card points, but Singleton Queen in the spade suit. Probably not an opening bid. It's a little bit dangerous in an event like this to pass out a hand, because if everyone's passing out a hand, that basically is just no one scores any points for it. So if you think that you're a stronger team than your opponents, it can be right to open hands like that, just figuring that they'll probably pass it out and you're 55, 60, 70% to get a plus score on the board. So let's just open and hope that we can outplay them. Again, 3 passes, but this time West opens a no trump. I think some players would be tempted to open a heart in 3rd seed on South's cards. We might see that from some of the other tables. So 1 no, 3 no might be a popular auction here. East having 10 high card points, no 4 card major. That's what we see. Well, you generally lead from 5 card suits. So that diamond lead is going to help Declare out a little bit, setting up the diamond suit. With that Singleton Queen of Clubs falling, Declare has 5 clubs, 3 diamonds, and at least 2 major suit tricks. So it's all going to be about how many tricks can you possibly manage on this one. So Queen of Clubs falls. It does generally look tempting to play back a diamond. Set up your source of tricks in the diamond suit. So declare does just that, diamond. Now, North should probably duck this, and I think the reason for North to duck this is that if declare wins and plays another diamond, North could take that and then play a fourth diamond and set up a stranded winner in their hand, but declare doesn't know that that winner's stranded, so declare might panic and just cash all of their tricks. That might not have occurred on this lie of the cards, but that is one possibility for what could end up happening. Whereas now that North has won this trick, declare was able to unblock the king from dummy, and they're completely in control of setting up all of their other tricks in the side suits from here. So let's see how declare handles the rest of the play. Because there is the possibility for kind of a fancy play to develop, where South's hand might come under pressure, holding both the spade king and the heart ace. Yeah, and in fact, North switches to a heart. To the 7-10 probably, and king. Now, declare can definitely just play a heart back to the 9 to set up an extra heart trick. I think that that is a little bit dangerous. They could also elect to try and take a spade finesse. Looks like that's what they're doing. So maybe not maximizing on their chances. I mean, with this fast round clock, it's often a little bit more challenging to play for some of the more adventurous or exotic types of end positions. Another thing declare could have done on this hand would have been to run all of their minor suit cards, and South would come under unbearable pressure. They would have to keep the king doubleton of spades. They would be forced to come down to a singleton heart, and then declare could exit a heart to them, end playing them to lead away from the spade king in the end position. So that is one thing that could have happened. But as is, declare took a spade finesse. South is now going to have to cash out the heart ace to make sure that they get that card, or else declare is going to take the rest. We'll stick around for just a minute until South makes their decision, and then we'll probably hop over to another table to follow the play in a different room. Well judged from South to take the heart ace, so declare ends up making 10 tricks. I think that goes to show why some of these are the top teams in the event so far. Let's take a look at BridgeChamp against Ukraine on board 18. So this is the last board of the set. We see some more distribution here around the table. East having a spade void and South being 6-5 in the black suits. So East will open a heart with the 10 count. And then South has a decision. Many players would still elect to bid Michaels with the South cards, being able to show both of their suits immediately. Others might choose to overcall spade first because their spades are longer and stronger than their club suit, and hope that they can bid their other suit later to potentially show basically this, that their spades are a little bit better than their clubs. Or East could pass in first seed. I don't think that would be most players' choices, but some players do really bend over backwards to make sure that they have enough high card points to open the bidding. I don't think anyone would say, though, that this East hand is not worth an opening bid with the shape, and as well as 10s and 9s, good spot cards, but of course, mostly just the distribution. It's so difficult to come into the auction here with the East cards if you don't open in first seed. Like, what's our plan? Do we really want to make a takeout double of spades with a 5-card heart suit? I don't think so. So you kind of have to consider the possibilities of how you plan on entering the auction later if you don't open the bidding first. And that's one thing that I think a lot of players, that they have these strict rules for what constitutes an opening bid, and they don't really consider what their follow-ups are for subsequent actions. But 2 hearts, a good raise to 2 spades. Well, this is probably not the most popular treatment on the north hand. I think a lot of players would start with 2 no trump, whether that is game forcing or limit raise are better in spades with the 4-card support. But I'm sure that this north-south partnership has their system kind of changed around so that they can incorporate all of the bids that they need. I mean, maybe they play 2 no trump as like natural and invitational. I have seen that treatment before. It's not the most popular, but some players really do like their natural invites, which are a little bit difficult to show if 1 no trump is non-forcing in your system. Now, I do wonder what South is supposed to do. I mean, if North's hand is effectively like a limit raise in terms of values, then South can just bid 4 spades. I mean, South's hand is not really slam looking with all these queens and jacks, but I think South would be very comfortable playing in a spade game with all their shapes, 6-5. So South does bid 4 spades. And this'll probably just go all pass. I wonder if West should be bidding 5 hearts over this with Queen Jack 4th. I think it kind of depends on what East's range is for this double of 2 hearts. But favorable vulnerability, I mean, it's really hard for saving to be wrong when you find a big fit your direction. Okay, we're in 4 spades. West is going to lead the heart queen as requested from partner. That double of 2 hearts shows hearts in this auction. And then what? There's a heart and 2 clubs that East-West can take. But beyond that, Declare does get to take the rest. And even with trumps splitting 3-0, Declare can still pull trumps, knock out the ace-king of clubs, and rough the 4th round of clubs in the north hand. Or 3rd round of clubs, and then eventually pick up the club suit, of course. So this should be an easy 620. Whereas in a heart contract, it probably depends a little bit on how the defense goes, but Declare may well end up losing something like 2 diamonds and 2 hearts, with clubs being over-roughed in the north hand, or might end up suffering a diamond rough, but then only loses 1 diamond trick. I think there's a lot of ways that 5 hearts could go, but it's hard to imagine it being worse than 620, because even down 3, with North-South taking 5 defensive tricks, which seems like a bit of a stretch, would still result in 500 for a North-South. So a bit of a missed opportunity for East-West. I really think that the 1 heart opening bid would have gotten them there to the heart save. Let's check in on another table, though, as these guys play out 4 spades. Let's head to Sand Eaters versus Adora. Also passed by East in first seat. I don't think we'll see that from some of our top teams in the event, but we'll take a look at the results of this board in just a bit. I know I've said that before, but I'll try and do my best to actually pull up the results of this hand. So spade passed 2 no trump, kind of the more normal Jacoby type structure, it looks like. 3 spades by South, alerted and explained as 4 or more clubs, not a minimum hand. Okay, we have a little bit of a system going on here. So South is still mostly unlimited for this auction. I mean, North is not thrilled about hearing partner's club suit because the small doubleton doesn't really fit with that. But North has excellent controls. So I think North might try some sort of like non-serious slam try if they have that available. 3 no trump would be a perfect description. If your partner bids 4 spades over 3-no, you don't feel too bad. You've got some nice controls, but you don't really have anything significantly extra. And if partner Q-bids, great. They'll probably Q-bid 4 clubs. We can Q-bid 4 diamonds. And then we'll see where the auction goes from there. But that is what North is thinking about. They've got 7 minutes on the round clock, and it once again doesn't look like East-West are going to be able to find their heart fit on this hand. You know what, let's leave them to it. They're going to get to 4 spades eventually. Let's head over to some of our top tables and see what... Oh my. Well, we got to 4 spades in 2 bids, and then there were still 4 more rounds to this auction, which ended at the 5 level. I mean, just look at this beauty. East, having passed originally, did make a takeout double of 4 spades. That got a 4-no trump bid from West, 2 places to play, double by North, and West redoubled to say, please bid a suit. So 5 clubs, 5 diamonds from West is diamonds and hearts, 5 hearts. 5 hearts gets doubled. And the way that the play has gone, how many tricks are East-West taking? It looks like they still have 2 diamonds to lose. And that's it. Really? So that's going to be down 1? That was not at all what I expected, but wow. Down 1 is a shocking result, but it looks like that's where we are headed. Declare can rough their last club loser with that heart queen. I didn't follow the early play, so I can't say for certain whether or not this was a good result for North, South, or East, West, but I mean, obviously it's better than 4 spades making, as we saw at a lot of tables. I'm just going to wait for the claim to get accepted so that we can actually pull up the results of this board and see what happened in a lot of rooms. So there were a lot of pairs that got to 5 spades after 1 heart opener, which I think we talked about is going to be the more natural choice on the East-West hands. So North-South getting to the 5 level, they end up going down 1. 5 hearts also pushes them to 5 spades at this table. 5 spades goes down 2. Here, East ended up passing, but then came in with a takeout double over 2 no trump. 5 spades got doubled at one table. Brutal. We had 1 4 spades making, and here we got 5 hearts doubled down 1. So this is definitely going to be an interesting board to follow as more scores are continuing to trickle in. Looks like another 5 spades down 1 came through, but 5 hearts doubled down 1 in 2 rooms. Here, a heart, 2 hearts, Michaels, 3 hearts, 4 spades, pass, 5 hearts, and North with the flat hand, 4-4-3-2, does elect to double that. I wonder if 2 hearts showed specifically spades and clubs? No, spades and a minor. Some pairs will utilize the Q-bid to show spades and 1 specific minor, and 3 of the minor to show spades in that minor. So they have ways to show both of their hands immediately. I think Gestum is often the name of the convention. Quick look at the scoreboard. I know that there's still a couple of tables in play. BridgeChamp remains on top with both teams, followed by Vaz and Just Jump. Let's check in on some of our other tables that are wrapping up the round. Over in this room, we see the relatively more popular 1 heart, 1 spade, 3 hearts, 4 spades auction, 5 hearts from East. Can't really blame East with the spade void for this type of a bid. And is South going to be pushed to 5 spades? Or is South just going to let 5 hearts go? A common motto is that the 5 levels for the opponents. So that would be the thing to do here. If the South works out to go after 5 hearts, that would earn them, well, a couple of imps, but also probably a board match win on the hand. Whereas if South elects to bid 5 spades, it doesn't end up costing too many imps, which I think is why at this team form of scoring, many players would choose 5 spades here, just because they know that if they go down, it's probably not going to be doubled on an auction like this, and it's probably also not going to be down too many, and they weren't getting rich against 5 hearts with South having no defense. But this does end up being costly at match points or board a match, of course. So South thought all that through, elected to go for a possible double game swing his way. Trump opening lead, and now South realizes that this is not what he wanted. So kind of a big decision here at trick 2, because South could lead the diamond queen and might lead the diamond queen. And if West plays low, South could elect to take the diamond finesse. If this works, South could then use a spade entry to pitch their heart loser on the diamond ace. The unfortunate thing is, if it doesn't work, East is going to get in, and East-West are going to know what to cash out. So if this queen of diamonds goes low, which it will, South now needs to judge, because it's pretty difficult to not cover the queen of diamonds with the king in a spot like this on the West seat. And South is risking going down 2, which from an imp perspective, down 1 versus down 2, only 3 imps at this vulnerability, especially when you're not doubled. But from the board match scoring, you really can't afford to be going down extra tricks. So South judges well, goes up with the diamond ace, kind of realizes that East-West, West is pretty unlikely to not cover the diamond queen in this spot. So diamond to the ace, diamond ruff, trying to drop a king doubleton, maybe offside, or king third. But yeah, the 3-0 trump split is going to cause problems for Declare, so I think it's time to work on the club suit. Oh, looks like he's pulling trumps, or at least one more round of trumps. Does get to work on the club suit, leads the 10 of clubs. So West will win the ace. Wait, whoa, a club comes back. Oh, we saw West throw his hands up. That was a misclick, and he realizes it. That's not what he wanted. Now East needs to cash the heart ace. Okay, I mean, this shouldn't be that hard for East, but still, I mean, West is very upset, and I think very clearly expressed that with their webcam. Oh no, the misclicks abound. There's also only 12 seconds left in the round. East needs to cash this ace of hearts. East should have a count on the hand. At least a little bit of a count on the hand. And what do they know from the bidding? All they know is that partner bid 3 hearts. Okay, well, 1 round to go. And this is where our scores stand. The BridgeChamp teams are tied going into the last round. And I think they've already played each other, so unfortunately we're not going to get to see that marquee matchup. But Avaz sitting in 3rd, and we can scroll down so that you can see all of the rest of the teams here. 3 boards to play to decide our winner for September's version of the OCBL Patton Tournament. Which match should we start off with in this last round? Let's take a look at BridgeChamp and versus Just Jump. So South opens a diamond in first seat. Lovely suit. 11 high card points, but 6 card diamond suit favorable. I mean, this is one of these hands that I think a lot of players would say, oh, of course, this is an automatic opening bid. I have 2 aces, a 6 card suit, we're favorable, we have to open. But then we look back at that 10 count from the previous round and players are passing that one. And that's obviously a much, much stronger hand with an ace and 2 kings, a bunch of good spot cards, and an even better long suit. So diamond to spade, takeout double from East. I mean, East with 20 high card points just can't really overcall 1 no trump, and so starts with double. Redouble showing 3 card spade support. we'll probably see 2 hearts from West. Oh, 3 hearts from West. A lot of pairs will play this as preemptive, showing a 6-card suit, in which case East can just raise to 4 hearts, which might make... There's some work to do. I mean, there's obviously 4 top losers, but I don't think North-South are leading clubs. East elects to bid 3 no trump instead, though. And this will probably play okay. And Declare has 4 club tricks, 2 spades, and 3 diamonds once they knock out the club ace. So good judgment by East. Oh, but West pulls to 4 hearts. See, this I think is a little bit of an error by West. That when partner doubles and bids no trump, their hand isn't a typical takeout double shape anymore. Their hand is just, it was too strong to overcall no trump, so they could have almost anything, including a singleton in your suit. Now, I would understand if West had a hand that was like Jack 10 7th of hearts and out, and no other values, then sure. You know, if your partner has 9 tricks on their own, so be it, but you kind of back them into a corner with the 3 heart bid, and therefore you just kind of have to pull to 4 hearts and pray for the best. Sometimes they happen to have like stiff queen opposite your Jack 10 7th, and great. Now your hand produces 5 tricks on offense in a heart contract, but it wouldn't in a no trump contract. Still, in this case, West doesn't have a hand that looks like that, and that's why East is kind of thinking for a while, but of course East will come to the conclusion, we just got pass. Partner has showed their hand. I mean, I've showed what I have no trump values, and my partner has said, no, I just have a long heart suit and nothing really to help you. Whereas in this case, of course, West does have that king of spades, which is useful, and the 10 of clubs is even a big card. Okay, diamond opening lead. And yeah, there's just almost no hope on this one. For one thing, diamonds are 6-2, so Declare may well try and cash the king, queen of diamonds, pitching clubs, but North will ruff. 10 of hearts. Declare kind of understandably realizes that they do need to pull some trumps for this to work, and I just... I don't think this is going to be good enough. I mean, even if South makes kind of the big-brained play of hopping up with the heart ace to try and give partner a diamond ruff, it's still not going to be enough tricks for Declare, because Declare will be able to pitch 2 clubs and North will ruff in with a natural trump trick, but there's a lot of spades left to deal with, and... in fact, the 8 of hearts is going to promote into an extra trump. So, yeah, there's not much hope of this contract making, whereas 3 no trump would have been a lot easier. We'll let Declare struggle through this one. Well, let's just see if South does continue a diamond. No, they switch to spades, kind of trying to knock out that entry to the long club suit. Let's head back over to a different room. We'll check out Ukraine against Max BridgeChamp. So in this auction, East-West ended up getting all the way up to 2 hearts. 3 passes went around. So South not opening the 11 count here. East opened a club, a diamond by South, pass, and East decided with 20 highs to reopen with 1 no trump. A little bit of a strange bid. But if you choose not to open 2 no trump in the first place, then you're kind of stuck once they overcall your second 4-card suit. East was probably planning to reverse into diamonds, but now had nowhere to go. And so when no trump, West was able to find a transfer, 2 diamonds, and East-West ended up in 2 hearts. So it looks like they're going to do a little bit better than the 4-heart contract in the other room, but of course East-West are going to be a little bit disappointed that they missed a cold game on this hand. I wonder what would happen over a 2-no opener. Would West transfer to hearts and pass? Would West Texas transfer and get to the 4 level? Or would West transfer and bid 3 no? We'll have to see if some of the other tables are able to navigate this auction a little bit better. Let's head back out. We'll check in on some of the other tables. Here we have Ives against Sandeaters on board 20, our second to last board of the entire day and second board of this segment. So after a couple passes, East opened a heart, a no trump, 2 hearts by East, and North never took a call. I think that's probably a little bit pessimistic on the North hand. That, I mean, especially at this board a match form of scoring, North with a singleton heart, North with 5 spades, kind of a maximum passed hand. You really do want to get into this auction and compete a little bit. But a spade opening lead from South is going to give Declare a little bit of flexibility in how to play this hand. Now club finesse at trick 2 is going to allow Declare to pitch their diamond loser because North-South haven't set up the diamond suit. South is going to have, 4 natural trump tricks? How often do you say that? But it does look like that's going to be the end of the tricks for North-South. And maybe if Declare is careful about how they time the play here, they can actually end play South out of some of their trumps. They lead a heart to the 10. Oh, South cashes the heart ace. Well, that's going to make Declare's life very easy. And continues a diamond, but obviously this is just over now. Declare can knock out the king of hearts with the queen, get back in, pull the last trump, and the ace king of spades will both be winners. So a little bit of a defensive error from South here to give up an over trick, but of course this contract was going to make once North-South didn't find the diamond lead at trick 1. So tough defense, but Declare does, of course, end up going plus in 2 hearts. We'll leave them to it and head back over to one of the other tables. Let's look at Adora against Joffe. We have board 20. It looks like East-West got to 3 hearts in this room. A heart, 2 diamonds by West, passed hand, so looks like just a natural 2 diamond bid here. 2 hearts by East, and West raises to 3 hearts, a little bit aggressive. So opening club lead goes to the king, and Declare is not that disappointed yet, but Declare is going to be a little bit sad once they find out that South has all of these trump tricks. So we'll stick around here, see if North-South can defend a little bit better than the pair that we saw in the other room. Of course, they're a level higher. North switches to the diamond king, trying to set up a diamond trick. It makes a lot of sense. Of course, Declare has that taken care of from this opening club lead. Gets to pitch a diamond on the 3rd round of clubs. And then Declare will have to deal with their spade loser, so they'll probably rough a spade immediately. So ace king of spades, spade rough, and then lead heart up. And I don't think South is going to end up getting end played out of their trump tricks if that's the way that Declare chooses to play the hand. I mean, if Declare knew what was going on, they could, for example, rough a diamond right now, and then exit a trump from their hand, and then rough a club return and exit another trump, and South would be end played. But that's a little bit too much to expect. So heart to the 9. South now can get out with a diamond, and then once South gets in again with the ace or king of hearts, South can get out with a club, and Declare will be end played into giving them 3 more trump tricks for down 1. So good defense from North-South at this table, possibly earning their side a bit of a swing. We'll leave them to it. And let's head over to one of our main tables. We'll check back in on Max BridgeChamp against Ukraine on the very same board. Pass, East opens 2 hearts in 3rd seed. And despite having a normal opening bid, I actually really like this 2-heart call because you have spades. The opponents are often going to come into the auction when you preempt in third seat like this, and they could get in trouble with our side having a ton of values. Partners a passed hand, we don't really expect that our side has a game, and this puts a lot of pressure on them to make the right decision. Like we see here, it's gone 2 hearts, pass, pass, double, which looks very natural on North's cards, and South is in a bind. They have these nice hearts, but nothing on the outside. Now, will South elect to pass this double, and then will South elect to lead a diamond? I think there's actually a good reason to lead a diamond, and that's that if you pass the double like this, Declare is never going to touch trumps themselves, and you may well get end played out of your trump tricks. So I think it's really important to look for ruff, for example, if you do go after a penalty in a sequence such as this one. But instead, it looks like South has elected to bid maybe Lebensal, 2 no trump. They know opposite a passed hand partner, their side can't have game. So, whoa, what is double from West? That's crazy to me. I mean, East didn't promise a 12 count for their 2-heart opener in third seat. But this is working out brilliantly for East-West. Oh yeah, 3 diamonds is getting doubled. Oh, this is great. Oh boy. Now what does South do? Does South pull to 3 spades? It looks like maybe 2-0 was better Mimer Lebensal. Based on North's 3 diamond bid. Wow, South just passes, so I guess North is done. Playing a 4-2 fit. This is not going to be pretty, and I think we need to shield everyone's eyes from seeing the massacre that's about to take place. So let's head over to the other table in this match to see how things have settled up. 2 spades doubled in the North. How did this happen? A heart, a no trump. North didn't come in directly. 2 hearts, pass, pass, and now North comes in 2 spades, but this has given East-West so much room to exchange information that now West balances with double, East with what looked like 3 natural trump tricks. Of course, they expected the queen to be in North's hand, passes, and it looks like Declare is finishing down 1. So East-West score plus 200, but that's not going to be good against the result that we just saw in the other room where North-South were in 3 diamonds doubled on the same exact hand. So East-West might be thrilled about going plus when North-South could have passed them out in a part score, but they unfortunately do not win the board, it looks like. We'll stick in this room for the final board of play, and then we will once again filter around to the other tables as the event concludes. But for those of you who are tuned in, or any new viewers, make sure that you do leave a like on the video. And of course, if you're here and want to say hi, please do so. I know that we're on a bit of a delay, but I do read all of your comments in the chat. So I do appreciate anyone and everyone who has left a message and does want to interact with the video itself. Final board of the day, some more shape from West this time, 7 spades, although they're going to have to wait a little bit to act. 1 no trump, 14-16 announced from North. Pass by East, and is South going to invite 8 high card points, opposite the 14-16 range, especially with 2 queens and no 5-card suit. Probably just a pass. Well, wouldn't this be a good spot for double to say lead spades? No, but realistically, West is just going to have to show their single suitor. So for most of these pairs, that's going to be 2 diamonds, single suited major over a no trump. There it is, 2 diamonds, showing either hearts or spades. We got about 5 minutes left to play in the round. So this will go pass. East will bid 2 spades. Pass or correct? Probably. Okay, or 2 hearts. Pass or correct? So 2 spades is going to pass back around to South, who will reopen with double. And then I think we're going to see a redouble from West, which in this case, oftentimes redoubles will say that we have defensive values. But here, because it's very likely the opponents are going to pass out this reopening double, redouble really has to say, I think I'm making this. Now maybe West would still be a little bit scared to do so, and it looks like they are. They don't pass, or they don't redouble. But with what looks like possibly 7 trump tricks, it's relatively safe. Obviously, if they pass and North happens to have Jack 4th of spades or something, you're in pretty bad shape. But it would give East the opportunity to compete for the part score. If East had a little bit of a better hand with a spade fit, then I think redouble might have gotten East-West to a 3-spade contract, which could have some play. So 2-0 from North. General takeout, I think. The alert of double is takeout, and 2-0 trump alerted is 2 places to play. South bids 3 diamonds, preferring either red suit to clubs. Oh! Well, I guess this is one way to achieve the result of I want to play this hand in a spade contract. West, rather than redoubling over 2 spades doubled, bids 3 spades. So not bringing their partner into the picture at all. Yeah, 3 spades passes back around to South, and I think South is going to really need to work out a double on this one. And then the question is, are they going to beat it? I don't know. But you expect that your side was making 3 diamonds. Because you have 8 high card points, you have nothing wasted in the opponent's spade suit, and you have more than half the deck. That's kind of the idea. So at this board of match scoring, I think we really do need to go after a penalty here. West could just be trying to completely job us and expect that they're going for 300 some of the time, which from West's perspective is very possible. And then it's going to be to us to try and navigate plus 300 if that's in the works. It looks like in this case, we really need to just get our club rough to beat at 1. But there's a pretty big difference between 50 and 100 at board of match. South does elect to let this go. North leads a high diamond. Encouraging diamond from South, which is going to make things really tough. So North thinking, probably counting up the high cards, right? West is mostly marked with all the missing spade honors, ace, king, queen of spades. North cashes the heart ace. Yeah, North is fishing around for a signal from their partner. Oh, ace and a heart. Huh. I was going to say, I think North must have worked out that partner needs the club ace. Otherwise, how could South really have bid in this auction? South would have the queen of diamonds, queen of hearts, and nothing else. That doesn't feel like a reopening double there with 4 high card points. So good technique from Declare, unblocking the spade jack, roughing a diamond back to hand, and then pulling trumps. And now he's going to knock out the ace king of clubs. And this will be 3 spades making 3. So good judgment from North-South not to double if they're not going to get their club rough. but feels like still a pretty big loss for them on that board. We'll head out to the lobby as there are only 2 tables left in play. Let's head over to the other room in the same contract. Oh, looks like... Sorry, let's head over to the other room in the same 3-spade contract. And Declare has managed to pull trumps. So a couple rounds of diamonds were attempted to be cashed. No one is finding their club ruff on this board. And Declare is able to set up the club suit to eventually make 3 spades. Heart Finesse is working. So South needs to be a little bit careful. If they take the club ace and return a diamond, for example, Declare is going to make an overtrick. But South ducks, getting the count correct in the club suit, can now play back a diamond if they want, but then it would be to North to not duck the heart ace. So a heart gets let up, and North just needs to pop up with the ace. Okay. 3 spades making 3 for a push board at the end. And let's head back out while the round concludes. We'll get to see the final results of the tournament. Tournament is over, and these are our winners. So BridgeChamp and takes the top spot. They get the gold, 56.5. Nice score for them. Ukraine comes back and takes 2nd place, slightly eking out Max BridgeChamp, 50.5 to 50 for them. And then Sand Eaters come in 4th with a vase right behind them. And these are the remaining teams in the event. So 12 teams, a much bigger turnout than we've had in the past, which is great. It means the tournament is growing. I hope that you had a great time watching. So I am BradyBot, hosting the event here for BridgeChamp. Hopefully this has been a fun and exciting stream to watch. So please make sure to leave a like on the video and a comment down below if you enjoyed the event. There will be another one of these coming up in probably another 6 weeks or so. We will let you know with some flyers coming out to advertise the event. For now, that's all for us today. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the future.